Okay, this is our second clause video, so make sure that you watch the first video before you watch this one. And remember to be familiar with your subordinating conjunctions that are at the top of page 9. We are also going to be adding in coordinating conjunctions. So they function a little bit differently in our sentences, but first I'm going to review the ones that you should have done on your own last time, so this will be a good chance to review those and see if you had any issues with those. So number 7, we have he is our subject, finished is our verb, he is our subject, did is the verb, and also get is the verb. So in number 7 we do have two clauses. Although is our subordinating conjunction, meaning this clause is dependent and this clause is independent. And don't forget the times that we add commas with clauses. So independent dependent would be no comma, dependent independent would be a comma, and we will be finally seeing sentences that have two independent clauses when we start talking about coordinating conjunctions, and you put a comma between those. There are some exceptions to this where we do put a comma, but we will not talk about that until later. So according to those rules, number 7 does need a comma after the word work. In number 8, we have I as a subject, 8 is the verb. I as a subject, visited is the verb. We have two clauses. Before is the subordinating conjunction. We have a dependent clause, and then we have an independent clause. So no comma for number 8. Number 9, we had already talked about. It is an important sentence, and you do want to note that we actually only have one clause. So we will start seeing a little bit of variety in our sentences in which we only have one clause, we have two clauses, and we will get to where we have multiple clauses, and of course that's more complicated. Number 10, we have he is the subject, loved is the verb, he is the subject, refused is the verb. We have two clauses. The first one is dependent, the second one is independent, and we do need a comma in that sentence. Number 11, we is the subject, act is the verb, all is the subject, is the verb. So we have two clauses. Unless is a subordinating conjunction, making that first clause dependent. Second clause is independent, and we do need a comma. Number 12, we have Isabel as the subject, knew is the verb, she is the subject, was is the verb. We have two clauses. First one is independent, that is our subordinating conjunction, and the second clause is dependent. So now we're going to be looking at page 2 of the clause practice, and we are going to add in our coordinating conjunctions. So if you remember learning about coordinating conjunctions in elementary school, your teacher may have told you fanboys. So that is an easy way to remember, because if you use the fanboys, that helps you spell out and remember the conjunctions. So when you see a coordinating conjunction, it has nothing to do with making your clause independent or dependent. So pretty much you just can ignore it, and then it doesn't make your clause dependent. So subordinating conjunctions are the only thing that can make your clause dependent. So let's look at page 2, number 13. We've got Sam is the subject, forgot is the verb. We've got he is the subject, got is the verb. So we do have two clauses. The first one is independent, and the second one is independent. So is our coordinating conjunction. So we don't have a subordinating conjunction, we just have a coordinating, and we do have two independent clauses, so that is also when we need a comma. Number 14, we have we is our subject, forgot is our verb, we is our subject, could and go are our verbs. So we have two clauses. Again, we have so is our coordinating conjunction. We have no subordinating conjunction, so once again, both of our clauses are independent, and our comma goes before the coordinating conjunction. And let's see, let's look at number 17. So I'm going to kind of skip us around a little bit. Number 17 is a little tricky because we only have a subject and a verb. But a lot of people are going to think, oh, that's a subordinating conjunction and we have a dependent clause. But in this sentence, we only have one clause, and because is also a preposition, and that's what it is here. So you do have to kind of watch out that if you don't have two sets of subjects and verbs, a dependent clause could not be by itself. So if this was a dependent clause, that would be an error. So this is a preposition, and in this case, and not a subordinating conjunction. We will do more practice to help you learn the difference between prepositions and subordinating conjunctions, but we actually just have one independent clause. This sentence still does need a comma, but it's not because of the clauses. It's because when you start a sentence with a prepositional phrase, you do add a comma. Okay, number 18 is another one that actually gets really crazy. Okay, we've got lots of subjects and verbs. We've got cat is a subject and is a verb. We've got hunted as our verb. Now, we have another subject, but you might not be able to find it because this is a sentence within a sentence. So the sentence, the cat is orange, got interrupted by this part. So whoever was talking wanted to give us a little bit of extra information here, so interrupted themselves with this. Okay, so this is some extra information. So cat is the subject for this verb, so then hunted needs its own subject. Okay, so that is a pronoun that can step in the place of cat. So that is still talking about the cat, but it enables itself to be the subject for hunted. So I like to draw a line here and here, and that way I have this sentence and I have this sentence. Okay, not only is that the subject, but it's also subordinating conjunction. So it makes this middle clause dependent, and it makes this clause independent. So we have two clauses, and we do not need a comma in that sentence. Now, don't be upset. This is a really complicated sentence. We will see more, but it is going to be okay if that one kind of confuses you right now, because normally it does. So what I want you to do now is try the rest of this page on your own. So just finish the rest of page 2, and at a later date I will go over the rest of those and make sure that you were able to figure everything out. Alright guys, that's it for clause video 2. Thanks.